was in a chair in the living room and came up and came at me and grabbed a hold of my shoulders and slammed me into the wall. Raised his fist like he was going to punch me in the face, stopped himself from punching me, and then turned me and slammed me into the door. The front door was open, so he slammed me into the front door, and that's when my arm hit the hinge and then pushed me out onto the porch.
Yep, I got charges for you like I said yesterday.
Sir.
I told you I have charges for you. I have.
You don't have charges for me. No.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yep.
Where was the crime? Charges for what?
What started as a routine child custody exchange quickly turned into a domestic violence investigation. A woman accused her former partner of assaulting her while picking up their children, claiming he grabbed her, slammed her into a wall, and threatened to punch her. Despite years of alleged abuse and previous protection orders, investigators initially believed there wasn't enough evidence to move forward. But after a key witness came forward, the case took a dramatic turn, leading deputies back to the suspect's home with an arrest warrant. Here's what happened next.
My name's Dan.
Hello.
So what happened tonight?
So it's his weekend. He has my little ones every other weekend.
Okay.
He was mad that I wouldn't let them stay again, so I was going to get them, and he had stopped responding. He wasn't answering my calls or texts or me knocking on the door, so I thought maybe he had fallen asleep. So I opened the door and stepped inside, and he was sitting right there, and he he was sitting in the chair, he came running over. He grabbed hold of my arms, and he raised his fist to me like he was going to punch me in the face, and then let go, and then re-grabbed me and turned me the way that it is. The front door is here. He had originally slammed me into this wall, and then slammed me into the open door, and my arm hit the hinge. My oldest daughter was sitting in my car and watched the whole thing. My 2 toddlers are inside. Every time
Inside the house or the car?
Inside the house, because I was trying to get them. He wouldn't answer for me to get them. So like I said, I thought he'd fallen asleep, so I just opened the door.
Okay.
And so then I grab the kid's sheet. My oldest jumps out of the car, and she comes up to help me and says, she asked me if I wanted to call the cops. And the kids were upset. I didn't want to do it in front of the kids. So she helped me grab the babies. And then I just put them in the car and drove them home. And then I came down here. But this is an ongoing thing. This isn't the first time. This is the reason why I left. And we had a restraining order, and it had just expired a few months ago. And I want that reinstated. I don't want to have contact with him.
Okay.
And also I'm pregnant, and he knows that. So.
Do you need to go to the hospital or anything?
I mean, I'm very anxious. I'm not feeling right, but I have anxiety. The only thing that hurts is my arm stings. And where he grabbed it was my shoulders. He was going to punch me in the face. He didn't actually. He stopped himself. But I don't need to go to the hospital. But I want a restraining order back in effect, and I don't know how. I need to refile court papers for custody because I cannot do this anymore.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure. I'm not saying you have to go to the
Yeah, no. If
hospital,
I feel I'm crampy, but I know it's anxious because he touched the front of me, in my stomach.
Okay. Well, obviously, you know better than I do about any of that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure you didn't need an ambulance or anything.
No.
Are you guys divorced or?
We were never married. We were together for 17 years. There's a history of domestic. After I had originally moved out, it's been a little over a year now. He kicked in the door at my first house that I moved out to, went through court through all that. There was a restraining order for the sake of trying to co-parent. I reduced it to a refrain from, which I think it just expired in September. And I think his 1-year conditional just expired. But he's clearly not learning, and I'm trying to co-parent, and I'm trying to be amicable, and I'm trying to be the bigger person, and I can't deal with it anymore. So.
How old is your older daughter? When
She's
you say
17.
Older, she's 17.
And my 2 younger ones that were with him were 3 and 5. So we have 50-50 custody. But his visitations are every other weekend. Only the younger 2 are required to go because my other 3 oldest children do not have contact with him.
Okay.
So they choose not to have contact with him. My 12-year-old, she's iffy. She doesn't go there, but she'll talk to him if he reaches out. But my 17 and my other daughter will be 15 tomorrow. They don't even have any contact with him.
Okay. And just so I'm understanding, the 17-year-old was the one that was in the car, and then how old are the 2 that were in the house?
3 and 5.
3 and 5. Okay.
Those are the 2 that I was picking up.
Okay. Where were they when this occurred?
Penelope was in the other room and she had come running out, my 3-year-old, and Elliot was right there. He was sitting in the chair that he was sitting in with him when he jumped up and came at me, so Elliot saw everything.
Okay. All right.
So Elliot fell asleep on the way to town. So I took them home with my oldest, just because I wasn't sure how long I'd be here and I didn't want them to have to sit around with their little kids. So.
And is there anyone else at the house with him
No,
right now?
my other, at his house, I don't, not that I saw. I literally was right in the entryway. I just opened the door and stepped into the little footing area. If anyone else is there, I didn't see them.
Okay.
He is not pleasant though.
Okay.
So. And he just tried to call me too, and I don't know what he tried to call me for. I didn't answer.
Okay. Do you think he would go to
To my
where you
apartment.
live?
Well, I told him that I was going to have him arrested before I left.
Okay.
So I don't think that he is that. I don't know. My daughter would have called me if he was there.
And that's here in the village.
My apartment. I just bought a house in Canandaigua, so we're kind of transitioning. But right now,
Okay.
but if he was there, my daughter would have called me already.
Okay. All right. Well, he's going to have some more questions for you.
Okay.
Alright.
That's why I'm doing it now. I just can't.
Yeah, there's still verbal arguing going on. I'm sure at one point where one of the female parties has gone.
So I don't know if my old neighbors would be helpful. So there's no way that he didn't see. But he is also friends with Paul. So I don't know how helpful he will actually be.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was texting and calling when I was there between 6 and 6:15. And I sat there in the driveway. Every time that I go to pick him up, he makes me sit in the driveway for 15 minutes. He brings him out. But this time he just wasn't answering. So like I said, I went up and knocked on the door. A few times he didn't answer. So I just opened the door because I thought maybe he fell asleep. But he was not sleeping. He was just ignoring me. Belknap Hill Road. And that's in Branchport. And I don't know if I can get in trouble for opening the door and going in. I mean,
Has he ever told you that you were not allowed to do that?
no, and he knows that I was coming there, and my name is also on the house. I own half of the house. But he also didn't tell me that, like, when he brings the kids to my house, he just brings them in, like, cause when he's not being like this, as long as we don't communicate, he just opens the door and brings the kids inside and then leaves.
Yeah, no, if it's commonplace for you guys to do and he's never told you that you could do it. And like you said, if you're still on the deed, then
Yeah, my name is on the title. Don't go in there because I try to avoid being in closed spaces with him. I usually wait outside, but he wasn't answering.
okay.
Oh, so you're not there yet?
Yeah, not there yet. I will be there.
Okay, are you injured in any way? Or?
I just had just a scrape on my arm. It wasn't red or other than that. I just hit the door.
I took a picture.
Yeah, you can. My daughter took these two when I left. I don't know if you want these. You can. I don't know what you can really see. It was a little bit more red, but you can't see. I mean,
Okay. I'll take a picture of that one if you don't mind.
which one? You can scroll. Feel free to scroll.
That one. And then I'll do a...
Okay, do you guys have a child in common?
We have 5.
So,
That's why I was there. I was picking on my younger two.
and you guys are formally married?
No, we were never married.
You were never married?
No.
Just former dating partners?
Yeah.
See. And then, did he make you feel fearful?
Yeah.
And can you describe that? I wasn't here.
So when I opened the door and walked inside, he was in a chair in the living room and came up and came at me and grabbed a hold of my shoulders and slammed me into the wall, raised his fist like he was going to punch me in the face, stopped himself from punching me, and then turned me and slammed me into the door. The front door was open. So he slammed me into the front door, and that's when my arm hit the hinge and then pushed me out onto the porch.
Okay. Was there any weapons used?
No.
No? Okay. Does he have access to guns?
I'm not sure. I haven't lived there in 2 years, and I don't go inside. So if there's guns there, I'm not sure.
Okay, did he make any threats to you or your children or anything like that? Yeah.
I mean, previously, has he ever made threats? Yeah, but in this exact
That's all.
second, no.
And you told him you were calling, so he's probably not going to answer the door if we go up there.
Probably not.
Was there any children that witnessed any of this, or just
Yeah, my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old were inside.
they were inside and they witnessed it?
My
Okay.
5-year-old witnessed all of it. My 3-year-old came running out. As he was shoving me out onto the porch, she came running out through the kitchen.
Okay, we'll just do both of them. What's the first one's name?
Elliot Carrick, he's 5. And then Penelope. And then my oldest daughter was outside, but she didn't see the initial push into the wall, but she saw the push into the door and then out onto the porch.
Okay, and what the second Penelope is her last name Carrick as well?
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
Carrick.
And is their current address technically yours?
Yeah, I
Is
have
it-
custody.
okay.
Yeah, and then my 17-year-old also she wasn't inside, but she was outside and witnessed it.
Okay.
And that's Trinity Carrick. Like Image and Stand Solar lesson, I asked them to lessen it for the sake of the kids. And so they offered him a 1-year conditional.
Like the conditional order of protection or
They
conditional.
ordered a 1-year conditional for like getting in trouble, and then we had a restraining order, but I think that I got reduced to a refrain from. But like I said, I think it expired in September.
Okay. All right. I will
It
do
was
that.
on a 1-year conditional from court, but I think it just expired. Like what they had said is if he gets in any trouble for like the same thing within the 1 year, then they would reopen what he was originally charged with from the last domestic thing. But I think
Okay.
that's
I understand what you're saying. Okay. I'm going to go look into that order and just make sure it's not in effect. Okay.
Okay. His first name was Paul.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with these, all right, I do offer everybody the opportunity to write a statement about what happened.
Yeah.
So if you would like to write a statement, just kind of summarize what happened. You're more than willing to do that. If you don't wish to, you don't have to. It does help with, charges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It does usually help with that. So that's normally when I try to.
After interviewing the victim and documenting her allegations, investigators determined they had enough information to confront the accused. Deputies headed to his home, hoping he would cooperate. Instead, they were met with immediate resistance.
It's been 2 weeks, bud.
We're here now. So
I'm not going with
we
you.
got dating one for a child.
No, you don't.
And I've got.
You're just St. Charles.
Told you last
You
night.
called me last night to tell me that you supposedly have these.
I did.
I'll take the papers. You can leave.
I do have these.
Hey, Paul.
What?
I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. But it's 4 o'clock now.
I'm not going down there.
Let's just listen to it.
Hey, we can either bring you so you can get a rain to get home by 6. Okay, but that's what we're trying to help you out with, okay? If
You're
we
saying go there, sit in jail? What's that? Like a
Until
slap
six.
on the, what's that? Like a, what's that for? And get a rain. Why do I gotta do
Well,
that?
I tried to have called you last night about
No, you wanted me to go there last night at 8 o'clock at night and sleep there.
that's what we're trying to
Fuck
avoid.
that.
that. We're trying to
So
avoid
if
that.
we can get you there now, we can get
I'm not going.
Is there anyone who can come and hang out with your kids?
It's not happening though. I'm not getting in cuffs or going nowhere for you guys. No way.
But Paul, it's not something that's gonna go away because
Have a warrant.
we will
Have
get
a
one.
warrant. You won't have nothing.
Right,
You got nothing. All you got is hearsay and then pieces of paper. So
Paul.
I'm not going.
That's
I have it.
we're trying to come out here and tell you what the options are, okay? You can come with us and have someone watch your kids for a couple hours until we can get you back home, or we will come get you with a warrant and then you won't have a choice.
Tomorrow, next, about 2 more weeks, come with a warrant.
That's not how that works. You know that.
Back later. They can just show up at my house and take me with you.
Hey,
You should have brought Daggett or somebody that I care about. You guys,
I've never dealt with you, Paul.
I'm doing it.
And like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, okay?
Yeah.
But we are trying to help you out and get you home as soon as possible,
I'm
which
not
is why
going
we're
home.
here now.
So we want to get you there so we can get rain at 6 instead of 8:40. All right. So you can only be there for basically as long as you take a process, and then you're gonna get rain and you get
at 6. It's 4.
correct. Instead of having to sit overnight.
Why would I have to go down there and sit for 2 hours?
That's
Obviously, you got all the information you need,
that's
right?
the next rain.
I don't think you do have all the information.
Because that's how
why
long it
takes
takes.
2 hours.
That's
for
how
you
long
to
it
get
takes for bookers
shit out
to
of
do
me.
their stuff.
For me to answer your questions, sit there in the little room like I haven't ever been arrested before. I'm not going. You can't make me go. Get a warrant. You're not coming in here. That's it. That's all.
Did you give him his civil
Get back.
tickets?
Get?
Is there someone who's going to be able to stay with the kids tonight?
No.
Okay. So that's going to be an issue, Paul. Because if we come back with a warrant tonight, your kids are going to CPS.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just
Not
trying to.
scaring me.
I'm not trying to scare you.
Carry on.
I'm trying to give you all the options because we
I got all the options. I will go.
Wait, Nate.
No, you don't.
Go ahead,
You don't.
Philip.
Look me up. I'm in the system. I've been there before. Look me up. It's the same. Papers so I can go.
I gave you the papers. This is just
All right,
where I have to go
goodbye.
to court, okay?
In the days that followed, the investigation took an unexpected turn. Frustrated that no charges had been filed, the woman returned to the sheriff's office with new information she believed investigators had overlooked.
I get super emotional, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
So on the 27th, I filed a statement against my children's father because during pickup, he got physical with me. So I filed a statement, CPS met with us. My 17-year-old daughter, my 5-year-old, and my 4-year-old were there. And when I followed up with Officer Lane, it was like a week later, he said he had been out. He said that he was not, originally they told me that they had enough to press charges.
Okay.
When I spoke to him a few days ago, he said that he no longer had enough to press charges because it was just his statement against mine. My 17-year-old daughter witnessed it, and I asked him, he took a photo of my arm, which at the time was like a scratch. It turned into a bruise a few days later, which I told him I had photos of. And my 17-year-old, she doesn't have a relationship with her dad. She wanted to make a statement, and he said that even if she made a statement, and even though that they have the photos, that there wasn't enough, that they had presented it to the judge, but the judge said it wasn't enough. Because
So, sorry
it's okay.
to interrupt you. I just had a question. So, you have a 17-year-old daughter. She witnessed this incident happen?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I told him that she didn't make a statement, I just made a statement.
Right. Were they aware of that at the time? Because you came down here to report this,
Yeah,
right?
I put right in there so that my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old were inside of the house. And my 17-year-old was in the car, so what happened is he had slammed me into the wall, the front door was open, grabbed me and slammed me into the front door and then out onto the porch. So she saw the door and out onto the porch.
Okay, so sorry, just to clarify, she was out in the car while this happened, and she saw
Yeah, she was
from
right in the
outside.
driveway. She saw it from outside, not the original wall, but the door, and then out onto the porch. She got out of the car and came up, helped me get the kids because my 4-year-old Penelope came running, and then my son was sitting there and he saw it. They met with CPS. They told CPS. And then when I spoke with CPS after, the officer told me that they could no longer press charges. She told me that he admitted, so Officer Lane said, Deputy Lane said that when the other officer went to speak with Paul that he denied anything physical and said it was all verbal. When I spoke with Kristen Plater, she's our CPS, she said that he admitted to her that it did get physical, but that I initiated it by opening the door and walking inside.
Okay. So just to clarify for you, anything he says to a third party, we can't use that in court. So that admission, if he admitted it to one of us,
Okay.
we would be able to.
But wouldn't it be
But to a
enough
third party.
pursue it?
So, I'm somewhat familiar with this. So just to give you some clarification on how this all went down, they initially filed for a warrant based on your statement alone,
Yeah.
which isn't enough.
Okay.
Okay, just so you understand that. So I saw that in the paperwork, and I asked them to hold off on that and go investigate further and go talk with him.
Yeah.
Okay. However, new information that you're giving me now is that your daughter is a potential witness to this,
Yeah.
and we haven't spoken to her yet.
No, but I told
So-
Deputy Lane that on the phone on Wednesday.
Okay.
That would be correct. That I give you the correct date.
Probably like Tuesday, maybe.
Whatever day he
Tuesday
came
or
back on
Wednesday?
vacation, he called me
Okay.
shortly after 5 p.m. I know because I was very, very upset and distraught over it. So,
Okay. Well,
So-
so I think this warrants us looking a little further at this particular case.
Okay.
And we'll do that. Okay.
I'm not, so this has been, this is a long time coming. I've protected him for a long time, but we haven't been together in 2 years, and I am pregnant, and he knows that, so clearly he's not going to, he still thinks that he has the right to do it, but my frustration came from when I talked to Deputy Lane, he didn't seem, he made me feel like it wasn't a big deal, because I said to him, I
Okay.
said, I have pictures, like, because originally it was just like a scratch, but a few days later you can see the scratch, but there's bruising around it from the door handle.
Are there still marks there?
I don't think that there are, but I have the photos and the timestamps.
Okay, so you took some photos.
Scratch.
You took some additional photos
He took
yourself?
a picture the initial day, and
Right, but
3
you,
days later, yeah, I took photos. I can show it to you. It just started to bruise around it, and I didn't realize at first because I couldn't really see, but it got tender. So I took those on the 30th. So this is the 30th. It just started to bruise around the initial scratch, which the photo he took, you can see is the initial scratch. And I took all this.
so who took these pictures?
My friend Elizabeth took it at work. My coworker.
Okay.
Because I couldn't get a good angle, but my frustration comes from, I told Deputy Lane this on Tuesday, I told him that my 17-year-old witnessed it and asked it, like, she's willing to make a statement, she doesn't have anything to do with her dad, and he said that it wouldn't be enough, that there's nothing that he could do, that I needed to do it all through family court.
Okay.
Which I did file through family court on emergency notification to have all pick-up and drop-offs in the Kenyon Police Department
Okay, you guys have a custody thing then?
every other weekend, and but I have, like, they call it final say in that we can't agree. So I filed an emergency modification. It's very messy. My CPS worker, when she originally met with us with all of the things that my kids told her, she had originally told me when she was leaving that I didn't need to do an immediate modification because that CPS would be filing neglect charges on their own. So I held off because I was waiting, because if that was the case, then I was just going to go for sole custody.
Okay.
Then she informed me when I reached out to her Tuesday that their attorneys didn't think that they had enough to go for neglect charges. So then I went and filed the modification on Wednesday. So
Was that granted?
it was yesterday.
Okay.
So it's just temporary until they just assigned court the 15th.
So you're supposed to do pick up and drop off right here in our
No,
parking lot?
in
or-
the municipal, the Penyon Police Department one.
Okay, yeah, that's
So
fine too,
at
yeah.
5 o'clock on Fridays and Sundays, that's what our pickup days are every other week.
Is the police department aware that that'll be happening?
I notified them that I submitted the order, and Kristen was supposed to let them know.
Maybe just contact them just to make sure, let them know that that did get granted and that's gonna be happening.
So that was temporarily granted until and then he scheduled a court date for the 15th, but, my worry is that that to him, it's like just another day, like, and
Well, I mean, so I actually just started here. I was a sergeant with the police department for 6 years. I'm just transferred up here, so I have another sergeant here with me today. So Trenton's a fairly new deputy. Okay, so sometimes getting started in this job, it's difficult to understand how to navigate some of these more difficult conversations. I don't think he intended, to come off that way. Because like I said, I have talked to him personally about this case. I was the one that kind of instructed them to do some more follow-up, to do a thorough investigation, essentially. So I didn't get the sense he didn't care about it. I think maybe it's just a sense of like, okay, things keep changing, and maybe he's not quite keeping up with everything that keeps changing. Like what you're telling me changes a lot about how we're going to look at this case.
yes,
So.
and I told him too, because it's in my statement that she witnessed it and that she came to the car.
So that's something I will look into because that wasn't something that was initially very clear that there was a witness to this.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely look into that further. And I can talk to Deputy Lane a little bit just about probably his delivery, it sounds like, was what kind of
So when
upset you a little bit.
Well, yeah, because when I said, I have updated photos, and you can see the initial scratch, but there's bruising around it.
Okay.
And my daughter, I didn't initially bring her, I didn't call the cops when I was there because I'm trying to shield my kids from as much as I can, so I brought them home, and then I just came to the station.
Okay.
So I didn't bring my daughter with me initially.
So it probably would have been helpful to at least bring her as a witness. If she had to stay and watch the kids, I understand.
She
But
did. She
okay.
stayed till
And that's
6.
fine, but yeah. Like I said, from the initial report I read, it wasn't clear that there was a witness to it. So that was one of the limitations we were looking at in this case. Is it's like, it looked like it was just one person's word against
I
another.
understand.
So
And I also did tell him, my ex-neighbor, Al, he lives across the road, he was outside, but he is also friends with Paul, so the likeliness of him being of any help is not.
that's something we can look into too. But so if you're satisfied with that, I'll have a conversation with Deputy Lane just kind of about his delivery with that and just making sure he's trying to be cognizant of, obviously this is an emotionally charged situation for you and your family, and sometimes deputies can come off cold and uncaring. It's not necessarily how it was meant to be, but
Yeah, I just
communication
wanted
is important.
clarification and to make sure
Sure.
that
Sure.
if it is possible, because if it is, I want charges to be pressed.
Well, we're certainly going to look into this new information with the case, and we'll investigate it as thoroughly as we can. And certainly, we're going to want to talk to you about it at some point. It sounds like so. Can you spell that thing?
TRIMITY.
Does she have a cell phone or anything like that?
Until she's out of school hours, so.
Okay. No, we won't try and call right away, but like I said, we will try and reach out at some point. So she lives with you full time?
Yeah, they all do.
Okay.
anyways.
Okay. So what I'll do, because I'm not going to be 100%, but I don't remember seeing her name on that initial report. So I'll verify that she's added to that, and then you'll certainly want to speak with her probably at some point. Is he working tonight? Is he on this wheel?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll probably reach out to the sergeant of the evening shift. We didn't have one the night you came in to report that. So I'll reach out to him to make sure he's aware of what's going on, and then he can kind of be on top of things to follow up. And then at some point, I'll meet up with Deputy Lane and just explain to him the conversation we're having here about kind of how that conversation came off on your end,
Okay.
and the importance of making sure that people understand that we feel something. We're here to help them. That's not how we want to come off. But if that is how it seemed, we would like to try and
The only
rectify
thing that I
that.
felt like he wasn't taking seriously was just my pleas that that someone witnessed it and that
Okay.
it wasn't just, because when I said that, he's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing that I can do.
Okay. And he may misconstrue something I said to him about how this is a very strong case as we had it. So maybe it's something as simple as that. But we'll kind of talk through that and we'll get it sorted out. If you're okay with that, that's where it'll kind of
Yeah,
end.
no, I'm not looking to get it.
Okay.
I was just, I wanted clarification because I've been struggling with the understanding. It's like, I finally am doing what I
Okay.
have been
Right.
scared to do for a very long time.
Well, and
So-
it's a difficult tightrope to walk
Yeah.
for someone in your position, and it's good for us to explain, and I'll do that. Obviously we have to have a case we can present, in court that's strong, because we get a lot of reports of things like, oh, this happened, that happened. It's like, well, we have no evidence to support any of that. It's very difficult for us to take that in front of a judge or a jury,
No, I understand that.
and so we try to make sure that we're being thorough and we have the evidence we need before we
Yeah.
go into that.
No,
And
I understand.
What initially appeared to be a dead-end investigation had taken a dramatic turn. After reviewing new evidence and completing additional follow-up, investigators secured an arrest warrant for the suspect. Deputies then returned to his home, where they hoped to take him into custody without incident.
Just wait a second.
Please get taken care of, Paul.
You want me to?
Can you step outside for
No, I'm
me?
not coming outside.
You are coming outside.
No,
I have a
you're-
warrant for your arrest.
I'm going to jail, dude. Can I put my shoes on?
Yeah.
I'm not going to run from you. I'm not going to fight you.
I got you.
I got to put my dog in the cage.
I understand that, but give it.
No, don't grab me like that.
Well, you've been elusive with us for a while. Okay.
And where's the warrant?
I got a copy of my car. If
Go
you'd like
get
to
it.
see it. I know it sucks, but you'd rather
Take care of it. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
It's gonna be inconvenient no matter what day it gets taken care of. You might
I got-
have to, go on.
this front one here on the other side. We'll go over here. I'll put them in the front to cloud with me. All right. Good.
Believe it or not, there's more room in this car.
I believe you. I've been in both of them. Be careful now. I got bad wrists.
All right.
So I'm not going to fight you
No,
guys.
I'll make sure they're nice and comfy for you. They too tight? They feel
No, you're good there.
All right. All right. It's 1:22. I was going to check your pockets all. I know you said you didn't have anything. All right.
I probably could hang it on the nail under the porch, but as long as I don't leave it, we're good. And then I got my cell phone.
Where's that at? Right here?
Right there.
I got you.
Here, boy, that's where I keep it.
Following the investigation, the suspect was taken into custody to face the charges outlined in the arrest warrant. Cases like this highlight the challenges investigators face in domestic violence incidents, where evidence can be limited and witness statements often play a critical role in determining what happens next. What are your thoughts on how deputies handled this investigation and arrest? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more real police body cam footage, Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.